Alright, so today I got an 1987 Toyota Corrolla. It needs brakes. It's also got some other issues going on here. Looks like we got a bad ball joint too. If I can get this in there. Get this camera set up. All right. See that whole thing. So we're going to get the rest of these brakes apart. I started taking this loose already. Took the caliper off. These bolts and hold this caliper in. A 12 millimeter, and the bolts for the caliper bracket are going to be 17. These brackets will have to be cleaned up, and we'll change the clips in there, get our pads together, and more than likely we'll end up changing this ball joint as well. And on the passenger side, we've got a bad inner tie rod. Oh, I forgot, this also has a busted axle boot. Let's see if I can find that. There's a tear right there, and all of the grease is coming flying out of there. Some of the stuff is so greasy. So I'm going to call the owner and see what it is he wants to do, and we will go from there. So I'll be back shortly. Alright, so I am back here. I got some parts for this thing, and what I did is I went ahead and did the brakes. These are no different than any other videos I've done with brakes. And today we're going to be changing out the axle and the ball joint on this driver's side. By the way, this car has this 87 Toyota Corrolla, and it has, see if I can get that number in there, 423,308 miles. Most of this stuff is all original. So what I'm going to do now, I've already got the axle nut loose here, which is a 30 millimeter, and got it moving. So now what I'm going to do is take this shield off here. There's some 10 millimeters if I'm not mistaken. It looks like 10s. We'll take this cover off here, and I will then get this nut loose here on top of this ball joint. We'll get the cotter pin out of there, crack that loose, and the axle itself I do believe has about 7 or 8 bolts on the flange that I'm going to have to crack loose. But I'm going to grab some tools here and I'll be right back. Alright, what I did was went ahead and took this cover off. These are 10 millimeter bolts that hold that in place. And I went ahead and knocked my ball joint loose. Got the cotter pin out of there and the nut. And knocked that out of there with one of these, which is a pickle fork. Goes right in between the boot of the ball joint and right here. Pop it with a hammer and it separates everything. I don't suggest using this separator if you're going to reuse your same ball joint, because it will tear the boots up. It's alright if you're going to change out the entire thing and you don't care about destroying it, but it will tear your boots up, so don't plan on using that if you're going to reuse your ball joint. So our next move is going to be getting up in here, and I don't know if you can be able to see this, but there's bolts around the axle flange. I may have to wait until I get it out of here to show you. There's about 8 bolts. I think they're 12 millimeters. But I'm going to get that loose, pull this out of here, and then I'll be back to show you what it looks like. Alright, so I've gotten this axle out of here. And there is 6 bolts in here that hold this in here. Excuse me, nuts. There are no bolts. Because you can see where that bolt's on. And the same matches up on the axle flange. Holes up there, bolted right in. So now I'm going to get this ball joint out of here, which I believe is I think they're 14 millimeters. Let's see what size these are. Yeah, 14 millimeters. And those were 12 millimeters up in there to get the axle out of there. So I'm going to cut this ball joint loose here and separate it. Get my new one bolted in there. There's 3 bolts that hold it in. And put my axle back in. And I'll come back at that point. Alright, I've got the new axle in. Got my new ball joint in here. Let's see if I can show you the bottom. It's just 2 nuts there. And we got a bolt up in this hole here that goes through the ball joint, screws into the ball joint. Yeah, relatively simple job. So I'm going to stick the wheel back on here, and I'm going to head to the other side over there, and we're going to do an inner tie rod. So put this wheel back on, and I'll be back.